Hey guys, what's going on, and welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys enjoyed yesterday's video about the anteater install. Like I said, pretty simple, pretty straightforward install. Sorry we did not get to drive the truck, but going to continue on. I'm going to do some antifreeze stuff or some coolant stuff today. Get the rad in, try and get all my heater core lines ran, put the radiator in, get it filled, get the intercooler in, get that stuff buttoned up and fastened down tight. And then we can actually run the truck for an extended period of time and not have to worry about shutting it off. So that's my main focus. My main goal today is to get the coolant system, the cooling system completely taken care of and get that on the truck. So gonna have to maybe do a little bit of cleaning and getting some of that stuff before I put it in there, but for the most part I hope to get everything done today as far as doing the coolant system. What I have done, I know there's some fancy radiator lines or hoses out there, but I really, to me, they're just radiator hoses. So went to O'Reilly, picked these up. This is the bottom hose. There's the part number for that. Everything is Gates, just as like I use the belts. Here's the top hose, part number, again, Gates. And then what I did for heater core, I'm going to do something just a little bit different here. I did oversize the orifice in the coming out of the top of the head going into the heater core. I kind of feel as if since I put the fleece coolant bypass in, which is an awesome product, it does exactly what it's supposed to do. Nothing knocking fleece. I've lost heat just a little bit. So they do run, I believe it's 190 as far as temperature. One of the things I explored doing was changing the thermostat in the back side there. I'm sorry, the front is at 180. One of the things I thought about doing was changing the back thermostat to a 190. That way that coolant would stay in the top of, or in the back side of that head just a little bit longer before it gets reverted back through that back thermostat through the fleece coolant bypass. So, you know, your water's gonna find the path of least resistance. So, like I said, what I've done is I opened that up just a little bit, just so maybe we could get a little bit more coolant going into the heater core inside the truck. I know this is a pressurized system. They reduce this down to reduce pressure going into the heater core, because I mean they can only take so much pressure. That's why they reduce that down, and to keep some of that pressure out of that heater core. So with me having the fleece bypass in there, it's going to reduce that pressure. I feel it's going to reduce that pressure. You like how I emphasize that? This is my feeling and my feelings only. It's going to reduce that pressure just a little bit to allow me to upsize or, you know, open up the orifice on that fitting. So my plan is I want to cut this down as pretty much as far as I can, coming out of the top of the head, kind of right around in there. That way we still have a nice flow coming out of there. I mean, we may go just a little bit more, but that's kind of the plan right there. This is for the head. And then I've also did away with the bottom steel line that comes out of the back there, comes down just a little bit with some rubber, and then goes through a steel line, has just a little bit more rubber, and then goes into this fitting right here. What I want to do is take this fitting out. I can't tighten it up anymore and put it so it comes out this way, just because I don't want to crack this fitting here. So I'm going to take it out, which might be challenging. I'm probably going to have to pull the oil filter. I'm sorry, thinking. I would like to take that out and turn it so it's coming out this way, and then have a nice swoop around going back up into the firewall there. And that's what the purpose of this one is. So that'll be stuck into the firewall like that. It'll come down, kind of swoop around the frame, and then, you know, there's fittings in the bottom of that one anyway. So I picked up a 5/8 barbed fitting, and then some 5/8 hose. That's the only thing that's not a Gates. That's a Prestone 5/8 hose. There's 6 foot of it there, which is more than enough and fine. And then I'm going to use my clamp tight tool that makes those clamps right there and hold everything together. So I guess with that, let's go ahead and get started running some of these heater core lines and see how far we can get today. Alright, I did get this fitting out. It wasn't as long as what I thought it was, so I had plenty of room to get this 90 out of the back of the coolant housing, I guess is what you would call it. There was plenty of room. I did get it cleaned up. This was quite a task to get out of there. It was in there pretty tight, but got it out, cleaned up, got some tape on it. We'll put this back in, and like I said, it's going to sit at a 90 going towards the tire versus going up. So got this joint done. Got that cut off. You saw I got some stuff done inside the truck there. So I'm gonna go over the clamp tight tool. I've had these for a couple of years. I picked them up from the guys over, him and his wife over at PRI, Kevin and Nikki. These are kind of a cool little tool. They make a neat, nice clamp. Instead of using a hose clamp, it just looks really, really nice. So we're going to go over that. I got a piece of wire cut here. It's a couple of different ways you can do it, a couple of different styles. This is a double wrap here. They can do the same thing in a single wrap. There's a multitude of different types of clamps that you can do. There is some YouTube videos out there with some guys using these tools that's far better than I am. And let me tell you, Kevin's wife, she makes this look extremely easy. So I'm gonna fumble around with this and show you guys how to make this clamp. All right, what you do first is after you cut your wire, is they do send a wire nut if you want to thread that on there just to make things a little bit easier. It helps keep your wire straight. Bring it through, straighten it out like that. You go through once and go around. And then you're going to go through one more time for a double wrap. A single wrap, you would just put the tool in there and clamp it over. Over, under, wrap it once, and then you just take these two ends and wrap them together. And you start twisting this tight. After you get it snug just a little bit, you're going to take and straighten your wires out if you want to. It's not necessary. Then just tighten it up to the desired clamp. You want to start seeing it dimple like that. You know you got it tight enough. I mean, that's plastic. This is pressure, but it's not. It doesn't need that much force. When you get it tight enough, bend it over. Loosen everything up. Take the tool out. Leave about a 1/4 inch or so and just cut these ends off. And then take and stuff them in. That's all there is to it. It does take just a little bit longer than just tightening up a hose clamp, but I mean the result is pretty much speaks for itself to me. I really like using this. I don't use it enough to be able to be as fast as Nikki. If you go to a show and watch her, she whips one of these out in just a matter of seconds. It is amazing how fast she can do it. And like I said, this is the clamp tight tool. I'll put a link in the description for their website, and then they also are available on Amazon. All right, after going through all that with the clamp tight tool, which is fine because I definitely need my practice, I'm thinking about abandoning kind of not all of it, but some of it. I went upstairs to grab that bottom heater core hose or heater core line, which is a steel one, to get some more of these spring clips. These things are very hard to find. Basically none of the local auto parts stores have them. Dealer has a few of them, but I remembered I had some up there, so I went up there to grab those. And I off of this line here. So what I'm thinking about doing actually is using this and then come down and mount it to the frame or to one of the engine mount with an eyelet, and then come off the end of it with my rubber line, cut it off here, and then continue on with this rubber line here. So I'll still use this piece here to come down from the firewall, but that's all I'm going to use from probably about right there as I drop it on the floor. So none of that right there will get used. So like I said, I think I'm going to go ahead and cut that off because I'm not using it anyway. If I need to, I'll have this rubber hose here. We can put that in. Before I do that, or before I put this piece back in, this elbow, I want to kind of see if that's going to work out for me. All right, this is what I've come up with in my scary little head. I went ahead and abandoned the hose altogether. Grabbed another one of the 21-inch 90s like I had for up here that I cut off, and went ahead and come out of the bottom of the that coolant housing on the bottom up to the original steel pipe, and then on up into the heater core. So we're gonna go ahead and get this installed and then grab the radiator and get that in. I did go ahead and put in the AC compressor because it doesn't look like this is going to become what I wanted it to do as far as the truck, so we're gonna have to go a different direction and start putting it back. Probably will still leave the passenger side battery out. Maybe might have to put that back in too. We'll just have to wait and see. All right, with that done, we can go ahead and start, put the intercooler in, put the radiator in, radiator shroud, put the fan in. First I'm gonna put all my plumbing in there so we don't have to stuff it in there afterwards. It's just a lot easier. If you guys did not see the video where we tore the truck apart, I'm going to show you a neat little trick right now how to put your fan on or take it off. All right, putting this on and taking it off. If you do not have a fancy little fan tool, spin it on until it bottoms out. Take your air hammer with a blunt end. Tighten her up that way, and it also works for taking it off. Where I'm hitting it at is right on the edge to put it on, and then to take it off you hit it right on the other edge and it'll spin that nut right off of there. All right, we got the turbo clocked and got the pipe down where it should be. The way you do that on these is there's some bands on the back here. You just loosen up these 13mm bolts, and you can turn this turbine housing and get that elbow clocked wherever you need it, and then you just tighten your bolts back up. Now we're going to go ahead and concentrate and get the intercooler. The intercooler has to go in first because it tucks in beside the radiator, so the intercooler will go in first. Okay, first the shroud needs to go on, and then the intercooler, and then you can drop your radiator down in the top. All right, with that, the front end is 99% put back together. Really, the only thing I have to do is put in the overflow and then put in the windshield washer fluid on the other side. If I so choose, put back in the battery box on this side. As of right now, I'm not planning on it. We've deleted this passenger side battery, and I think I'm going to leave it that way. The only thing I have not done is, I know you can't see, but that's why I'm pointing, is I left the short belt on there and did not go over the AC compressor. I'm going to leave that unhooked from the power, and then also leave the belt off of it for right now until I get a chance to get it someplace and get it recharged. I do not have the canister. I can't think of the name of it now. Anyway, the evap. I do not have the evap canister back installed. Like I said, I'm just going to leave all of that off for the time being. I do need to get a filter. I don't want to put this K&N back in. I really don't like it. Waiting for Power Driven Diesel to get in some of their cones, but they've been out of stock for a long time. So anyway, have the condenser in. I need to cap this off so no crap gets down inside there. For the most part, that's pretty much done. And I think so is this video. I've been doing this video for the past couple of days, if you couldn't tell, between the light and the dark and the light and the dark. So I think we're gonna end it here before it gets too stupid long. Next time, I'm gonna put some water in it. Next time, yeah, we'll be ready. So anyway, guys, if you don't mind, hit that like button, give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you have not already done so, and we'll see you guys in the next one.